and by all means, your family fortune is forever what you stood on. So dreams, fantasies to put the hood on.
The AFC West, they 2 years ago they were like the AFC North from last year. They had like 3 teams make the playoffs last year. Of course, they weren't so lucky, but they had teams that competed. The Chargers made the playoffs. The Broncos won the division, and at the bottom of the barrel was the Raiders. The Raiders, they drafted Amari Cooper with the first pick, the first receiver taken. Of course, everybody knew he was going to go there. That's what they needed, so that was a great pick for them. Their quarterback, Derek Carr, a lot of people kind of hard on him. He had like a mediocre rookie season. I think he threw 21 touchdowns and only had 12 picks, which is good, but his percentages wasn't there. So, but I think he has a bright future ahead of him. They just don't have nobody to hand the ball off to. They brought in Trent Richardson, who couldn't find a hole on a donut. Let's just be honest. But he's your problem now. So
shade. I forgot.
Hey, he's your problem now.
He might end up doing numbers.
No, I've seen what he's been doing in the preseason. No, if he does, I'll apologize. I promise you. Receiving wise, they brought in Michael Crabtree, who went over the bridge from San Fran. To go on the other side with Cooper, so they have some receivers to throw the ball to now, at least. Defensive wise, they were a pretty above average defensive team, I think. Even though they only won 12 games last year, but I think their defense played better than what the record was. They drafted Mario Edwards in the second round to help with their line. Their secondary. I don't know. Their secondary is what scares me about the defense. I don't think they have a reliable lockdown cornerback to go out there and go head to head with the other number ones. Mind you, they're in the division with Demarius Thomas, with Keenan Allen, with now Jeremy Maclin.
So those guys are going to be out there burnt like toast.
Yeah. So pretty much.
But they do have Jack Del Rio as their coach now.
Yeah, and everybody knows he's a defensive mind. He was the defensive coordinator for the Broncos, so he might be able to do some things with them guys. But record-wise, I do think they're going to be better than last year because I think they're going to have a better offense, but only a little better. So I think I'll give them about 6 wins. 6-10 is all I can really see the Raiders doing. But I think they're headed in the right direction. I think you're going to keep seeing them improve.
Definitely improving. They're on the up and up, and I'll give them 6 wins as well. They're in a tough division, but I think Jack Del Rio will know what to do with that team, even if his name sounds like he used to star in pornos.
They have Super Bowl experience on their roster now. They brought in Malcolm Smith, who was Super Bowl MVP for the Seahawks a couple years ago. So they're bringing that playoff Super Bowl experience, veteran experience, so that can help out a little bit, but it won't help out that much, I don't think. But I'm anxious to see what Derek Carr is going to do this year. I think he's going to be able to prove a lot of his doubters wrong.
All right, this don't have anything to do with like the players or anything, but I think one thing that may be plaguing the Raiders is the fact that they play on a goddamn baseball field. Get some goddamn grass down there. Like, it looks like a bunch of, like they just let the hood in there and just let them play. Like, what's the deal with it? Like, I will never understand it. I hate watching those games, especially because, they come on CBS, and CBS already make games look awful, but gosh.
They might be superstitious. Or as though
obviously the superstition ain't working. Put some damn grass down. Hell, even the vet had some damn carpet on top of concrete.
Carpet. That's exactly what it was.
Was it? Yeah, that's why my damn favorite quarterback had to freaking retire, and my goddamn favorite wide receiver. They done killed my whole Cowboy team. That
probably was the plan.
goddamn, yeah.
I think that was the plan.
That was the plan, yeah, and that's why they stuck where they at now.
Well, Peyton Manning and Demaryius Thomas, if y'all watching, then y'all gotta go to Oakland and shit.
We're extra padding.
Extra pad.
We're like some mittens inside y'all uniforms, even to cushion up.
The Kansas City Chiefs. They were right there. They hung around in their division till towards the end of the season, and they kind of slipped off. But
in true Andy, yeah, they slipped off in true Andy Reid fashion. You know, what else is new? But I believe in Andy, and I like that team. And maybe I only like that team because he doesn't coach the Eagles anymore. But I like overall, they're a pretty good team, especially now that he has Andy Reid stole. Well, he didn't steal because I guess what's his name? Chip Kelly was pretty much giving players away. So he got Jeremy Maclin down there. Although it's Alex Smith is still their quarterback, right? So if Alex Smith decides that he can actually throw and get the receivers the ball more, and the receivers can actually score touchdowns, because that was like their thing that they couldn't do to save their damn life. Their defense was like the heart and soul of their team. They might as well just set the helmets down of the whole offense onto the field just so that they can just do 3 and out and then let the defense come out there. But I like what I have a little faith in them. They won't be as good as the Denver Broncos, but they definitely will be better than the Chargers. And I'm going to say they're going to be 11-5.
Yeah, they brung in Maclin, but Alex Smith is not really an outside passer. So this, I think, again, is going to be the Travis Kelce and Jamal Charles show as far as even in the passing game. Jamal Charles is a top 3 running back in this league. He still gets you over 5 yards every carry, and he catches a ton of passes out the backfield. Will they go a whole season without wide receivers scoring a touchdown again? No. I think Maclin will score a couple,
yeah,
but
because like now they can kind of like delegate between Jamal Charles and like give Alex Smith a chance to have like a decent passing play.
Yeah, the play action should be in full effect with them.
And that's Andy Reid's thing.
They're like Cryssy said, the defense is the staple of this team, and that's what they rely on. And they get the offense the ball a lot. It's just the offense doesn't always score a lot of points, but I don't think that's going to be the problem. They have one of the most fiercest linebacker corps in the NFL. Don't believe me, just watch. I'm telling you. They got Justin Houston, who's probably the second or third best outside linebacker in the league. And their defense, they get Eric Berry back, which is a remarkable thing, and I'm happy for him. But 11-5, no.
Okay, maybe I overreached. You ever say something and you think in your head like, I'm gonna say I'm not, because they went 9-7 last year, 10-6. 10-6. They'll be 10-6. The Chargers the Chargers probably be 8-8 because. All right, we'll talk about them later, but I'm gonna say 10-6. I see 10-6.
I can agree with 10-6. With again that 9-7 is like is knocking at me. All right, 10-6. But if they're not careful, 9-7.
I mean, if they can stay, I wouldn't even say stay healthy because they're pretty much a healthy team. But if they can just be that overall solid team, they have all the pieces. They just gotta know how to work with it or something. Like they just have to know how to. They just gotta read the directions or something. I don't know what. Andy Reid is that coach that has everything, but acts like he's poor. Doesn't know what to do with it. So we'll see. But I'm saying 10-6, and in a possible wild card berth.
See. San Diego Chargers. They had a ton of problems last year. Inconsistent play from their defense, and all in all, they were just a pretty mediocre team. But their quarterback play improved, I believe, and I wasn't always the biggest Philip Rivers fan, but
I'm still not.
I like Phil. Philip, Philip, I knew that was you, Philip. Somebody can tell me where I got that from. But he just got an extension, so I know he's heavy. They drafted Melvin Gordon in the first round to help with the loss to Ryan Matthews, and him and Brandon Oliver I think is going to be a dope 1-2 punch. They brought in Stevie Johnson to. They have a pretty good receiving core with Stevie Johnson, Keenan Allen, and Malcolm Floyd. I like those three receivers. Also, you can't forget about Antonio Gates. He's suspended the first 4 games, but I think that's actually might be good for him because he's aging. Mm-hmm. So you can get him a lot. You can get him more snaps probably than what you were planning to. Their defense is a question mark, but I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. They brought in Orlando Franklin to help with the line. Bless you.
Thank you.
They drafted Denzel Perryman in the second round to help with their linebacking core. Their secondary is what worries me, but they have players who are that they're proving that they can play. Brandon Flowers, of course, he's kind of fallen off a little bit, but I still think he's a pretty solid corner. And they drafted Craig Major in the third round. The Chargers are going to be my surprise team for the year. I think they're going to shock everybody. And the Chargers are going to go 11-5. And they might can win that division with it.
Can I suspend you from this program for like substance abuse?
Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
Listen. No. Just overall no. Like no. And the reason why it's a no, your boy Phil.
Philip!
So it's like, I think he is like so overrated. I do not like the fact that he doesn't get as much flack as Tony Romo gets. This guy is that guy. Look, I'm not going to say 11-5. I'm not going to say that they're going to be horrible, but I just know in their division and in the AFC in general, they're going to be like 9-7, 8-8, probably 8-8. But I'm going to give them the 9 wins. But no, 11-5.
Who in their division besides the Chiefs has a secondary good enough to contain those 3 or 4 threats out there that Philip Rivers?
It don't matter because it's going to end up with that's always been the case because like when they'll end up having a shootout and then Philip Rivers will end up throwing that costly goddamn interception. So don't even matter because to every 4 touchdowns that he can throw at least 8 goddamn interceptions. That is your Phil.
No, his touchdown and interception ratio last year.
Whenever he has a big game and he ends up losing when it's like a shootout, it's the interceptions that kill him.
I think they're going to surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, surprise me.
They will. And you, Philip, I want you to ask this woman for an apology after you throw for 4,400 yards.
Listen, he
33
can throw
touchdowns.
He can throw for 50 touchdowns, 50+ touchdowns. But at the end of the day, if that record don't show 11-5, I'm not apologizing to no damn body.
8-8.
I said that was a maybe. I said I'll give him the 9 wins. 9-7, 11-5. No.
Sleeper team, surprise team.
Sleeper team.
Heard it here first, or maybe not first, but you heard it here. They might even win that division.
San Diego Superchargers.
The Denver Broncos, or as Cryssy calls them, the Peyton Mannings. What do you think?
It's Peyton Manning. It's like I mean, like, of course, I love my Peyton Manning and everything and all that. Although last year in the playoffs, I don't know who the hell that was.
It's 10 minutes
that
before
might have
practice
been
is
like,
even set to start. Number
what's his
18
name?
has the offense at
Bobby
the line
Hoying
running through
underneath
drills.
that.
See the 5 guys along the
But
offensive line there. That's
they still have that solid
going to
offense.
be one of the question marks and one of the points of focus all through camp. Who's getting the most?
I'm not too sure about their defense. I mean, like, they have a defense. They have the names. Like, they have a name brand defense, but they don't play up to what their names present. So it's kind of like, hey, I'm kind of not so sad that DeMarcus Ware went over there but they're still going to be the dominating team in the West. They're still going to get their 12 wins. There's no team in that division that's going to dethrone them. And any team that remotely tries to compete with them, they always outplay them anyway. But I don't see them really going. They'll make the playoffs. They probably get their bye again, but they won't. I pray that they will win their game, but I don't know. I'm up in the air about it. It's mostly because of their defense, and you can't have some. I mean, like, I love Peyton Manning and stuff, but I don't know if he can just, like, carry that team. Like he can't. Like, he's up there in age now, and he had that bad injury and everything. You can't let him sit out there for so long and just continuously try to carry a team, and that's what they've been doing. Like, the past seasons that he's been there has been the Peyton Manning show. They need to figure out a way they start getting their defense involved a little bit more. If they don't, then
they have. Well, to start off with the defense, I think they have probably the best linebacking core, or at least top 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got DeMarcus Ware, you got Von Miller, you got Brandon Marshall, and they drafted Shane Ray in the first round, which I think was a steal.
What's his name? He was out last year, right?
Yeah, he didn't play like the beginning of the year. I think he got hurt.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they, like, that's why I said they have a name brand defense. We just need them to just, like, show up and play to their ability.
Secondary wise, they have a top 5 cornerback in Chris Harris Jr., who, I mean, he's not a household name yet. He opened up a lot of eyes last year, but he hasn't become a household name. He's a name that's said a lot. I think he'll be a household name this year. You got Talib on the other side. Safety wise, but I think as far as the cornerback, they have good cornerbacks. They have great linebackers. Their defensive line, they lost Terrence Knighton, but they're both of their lines is the question marks with them. Their defensive line and their offensive line. They changed as far as they're going to become a more of a running team. They became more of a running team towards the end of last year, and they got a 39-year-old quarterback. So I mean, you can't blame them for that. It's not shade.
You don't have to point out his age. Don't matter.
He's 39.
So what? I'm 30.
He can't throw the ball 50 times a game. Like, you gotta run the ball. They have a pretty good running back though, C.J. Anderson. They actually have a good running back committee, but with Peyton age, father time catching up to him. I know that head holds a million football plays and audibles in it, but I mean, you still got to be able to physically perform the job, no matter how smart you are at it. You still got to be able to physically do it. saying all that, I think the Broncos are going to slide to like a 10-6-ish record this year. That's not bad.
You think that the Broncos would be 10-6, but the freaking Chargers would be 11-5?
That's what I think.
I think there's a white line across this paper, and you've been sniffing it.
Listen. Every year, not every year, but you got a team that shocks people most years, and I think the Chargers are gonna be that team. The Broncos are very good. Don't get me wrong.
A shock of a team would be like the Browns going to the goddamn Super Bowl. Now that's a goddamn shock. But no.
That's not a shock. That's mad.
Man wouldn't even let that happen.
That's mad in franchise mode. But I don't know. I think what we started to see at the end of the season from the Broncos is pretty much where we're going. And they have a whole new system, mind you. They got Gary Kubiak as their head coach, who he's all right. And Wade Phillips coming in.
But you realize that
they look like the Texans. Like, they got Wade Phillips as their defensive coordinator. They brought in Owen Daniels. Like, they look like the Texans.
It's like, okay, they do whatever. But at the end of the day, you know, like, as far as coaching, it's not even gonna matter because Peyton runs the damn show. You know that. Yeah. You should know that.
They lost Julius Thomas.
So he makes receivers.
Okay, let's say I make Owen Daniels.
And how much you want to bet?
No, but Owen Daniels not bad. I don't want to say like he's bad or anything, but let's see him make Owen Daniels half of what Julius Thomas was.
He made Julius Thomas, but I'm not gonna say nothing because I'm flabbergasted right now.
You're gonna be flabbergasted when they hit that 6 loss. 10-6, but if the Chargers make me look out to be a fool, then that would be enough to win the division.
How about this? If they 10-6, the Chargers will be 2-14. Damn. Since we just throwing out random numbers out there like that. No, that's disrespectful. How dare you? How dare you? A legend. He's still a legend. I don't care. Like, he said 10-6. I'm going to say 11-5. I said 12 wins, but I'll say 11-5. They probably do 12-4.
You know who's going to beat the Broncos this year? The Steelers.
You know who's not going to beat the Broncos this year? The Chargers.
They will beat them one time. They're going to split with the Chargers.
Didn't they split last year?
I don't remember.
Or did they sweep them? They had to sweep. I think they might have swept them.
But the Chargers always give Peyton Manning tough games, even when he was with the Colts. They're going to split with them.
And by all means, your family fortune is forever what you stood on. So dreams, fantasies, they'll put the hood on. You reap what you sow.